My name is Tamara, and this is episode 37 of the Caffeinated Craft Mamas podcast. My podcast all about my knitting, crocheting, and bookish life in Southwest Missouri, where I live with my partner Richard, our 3 kids, and our dog. I hope you all are doing well. Today is May 9th. It has been 3 weeks since I podcasted last. Unfortunately, last week we were hit with a nasty stomach bug. And yesterday was the first day in over a week that I did not have another human home with me who was ill. So I did what most of us do after a long illness, and I sat and stared at the wall. But I am doing much better today, so I thought I would get a podcast recorded this morning, hopefully up for you guys by tomorrow, and get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Whew, I can't talk today. That's okay. We're not starting this again. I've started this like 6 times. So, if you would like to follow me on social media, please feel free to do so. I'm really only active over on Instagram. I am the caffeinated_craft_mama. I post over there 2 to 3 times a week. I was able to do a little bit of knitting and a post for May the 4th. So for all my Star Wars friends, May the 4th be with you. I got to watch a total of like 25 minutes of the movie, but I got to watch it on May the 4th and I got to wear a Star Wars t-shirt. So I'm counting it as a win. I have a what am I wearing to talk about. I've got one finished object, a couple of whips, and some books to talk about. For it only being 3 weeks since I have podcasted last, I don't have a ton of work done, but like I said, we were sick, and I'll get all into all of that in Life and Junk. So we're going to start with what I'm wearing. Ooh, this is my Chasing Blizzard shawl. It's a pattern I got off of Ravelry for free. I knit this in 2021. We had a blizzard come through here, and it like knocked out power in Texas and a bunch of stuff. And so I thought it would be fun to cast on a shawl while there was a blizzard going on. So I did. I modified the pattern because I absolutely hate knitting baubles. So I took them out. You can find this one actually on my Ravelry. I do have a project page for this one. And that is Tamara Melton 2011 if you want to go look at that. And I've got the pattern linked there. The yarn is black, is just Cascade Heritage Black, and the green is Bad Wolf Girl Studios and Pinup Zombie. I have another skein of that I'm planning to do something with, but I just really like this shawl and I thought it would be fun to wear this morning. It's still cool enough here in Missouri to need something in the morning, but then by the afternoon you're dying. So, unfortunately, it's summer. I posted a countdown to fall yesterday in my stories on Instagram, and unfortunately Gretchen was not happy with me about it. She did not appreciate that I was already doing a countdown to fall. So, okay, let's get started with my finished object. I knit a chicken. This is Sam, the chicken. I used the emotional support chicken pattern. This is actually a gift for my best friend's son. So, I will talk about the yarn first and then kind of get the story behind it. This is yarn from my Hello Kitty Advent Calendar by Fangirl Fibers. So the main color here is actually called Tuxedo Sam. And then I have this that was leftover bits from a sample, I believe. And the same thing with his comb and the beak. And I did just a sleeping chicken because this is for a baby and I don't like to use safety eyes for babies. I know they're safety eyes, I just don't like to. The reason I thought that this yarn was perfect is because my best friend's son is named Sam. So now Sam has a Sam. And I will get this off in the mail to him soon. He's already growing so much. It makes me sad. But at the same time, Auntie TT has to send him things every now and then. So this will be going in the mail to him soon. And that is the only finished object I have. And that wasn't even a whip when you guys saw it last. So I do have some work on most of my projects, but as you can imagine, after last week, I have hardly touched any knitting. So we'll just get into the whips and go from there. We'll start with my crochet whip. I did get some work done on Gimli. So I haven't touched him in a week or so, but I was at the pumpkin last time you guys saw this. So I am almost halfway through the block. So I feel good about the progress I made, like I said, especially since I haven't touched this in over a week. So we're going to go back to at least 1 row a day. I can do 1 row a day. That's not hard. So that is the plan. And I am hoping to have this completed when I see you guys in 2 weeks. So there is Gimli. This is block 6. I've got 3 after this. I can do it. We're in the home stretch, right? And this is living in my Amazon knitting backpack my mom got me for Christmas a couple of years ago. I really like this backpack. It's very roomy. Has lots of pockets for yarn. Okay. Next up, we will talk about some socks. This is living in my Spring But Spooky bag by Amby Marie Knits. My friend Amber gave this to me, and I love it. It's a little sock bag. So this is a sock for Richard. You guys have not seen this sock, but I will explain this marker in just a second. So the illness we were all struck with was a very nasty stomach flu. And Monday morning, well, I guess Sunday night, Jade went to sleep and was complaining that her tummy hurt pretty bad. And so I said, well, why don't you go lay down in your bed for a little while? I'll come up and check on you in half an hour, see how you're doing. I went up and checked on her. 30 minutes later, she was asleep. I checked on her an hour after that. She was still asleep. So I went to bed. She woke me up about 1 o'clock in the morning, whimpering, bending over, just crying. And anybody who knows Jade knows that she has a very high pain tolerance. It's very unlike her to complain of pain. So then she started being ill, and so we were worried it was her appendix. So I loaded her up and took her to the emergency room. Thankfully, it was not her appendix, but the poor girl had to have a blood draw and a bunch of other things. She was a trooper through the whole thing. This is why, though, you have purse knitting, okay? Because I just grabbed my purse and left. This is where I was when we entered the ER. So I did all of that because I knit on this for maybe 5 minutes since we've been in the ER. So that is, I knit on all that while I was trying to stay awake in the emergency room. Thankfully, they were able to get us back really quickly, and we had an amazing team that took really good care of us. But yeah, that was a long night. So I'm going to move the marker up, and hopefully I will have more progress on this to show you guys next time. But this is, oh, I didn't say the yarn. This is Felici Arcade Afternoon. Just some leftover I had in stash. And this is going to be a long pair. He asked for a long pair this time. And I really need to finish this heel flap because these needles being this way are annoying. And I'm knitting these on US 1s, so there'll be 60 stitches. Okay. Second sock. We'll do Christmas socks. This is living in my Ginger Snap Fiber Snowman Christmas mug bag. You guys are probably getting tired of seeing this yarn. It is Cascade Heritage Prints. Color number 137. And last time you guys saw this, it was a half object. I had finished one. It's all tangled. Give me just a second. There we go. So I got the other one started, and that's about as far as I've gotten. We've talked about this. They're going to be sisters, not twins, because I did find out I have 3 balls of this, not 2, but I'm probably going to knit 6 socks all the same, just knitting as I go, and then just match them up as best I can with the stripes, because I have 3 people that I knit socks for that all wear the same size shoe. So I end up knitting them all the same size sock. This is being knit on a US 0, so I am doing a 64 stitch foot for this one. So these are just trucking along. My little beaded snow or beaded Christmas light. So yeah, I got a little bit done on that. Show you the bag one more time because it's beautiful. All right, last sock whip I have to talk about is my Desert Vista Dye Works A Quart of socks. And I have gotten some significant progress on those too. Actually, hang on. I am going to pop a marker in on this Christmas sock. I'm really trying hard to keep up with that. For you guys and for me, I actually really enjoy being like, oh, look, I was there 2 weeks ago. Look at me go. Okay. Okay. So last time you guys saw this sock, because these are a quart of, so they needed bat wings. We were at the bat wings. We are all the way through the heel. Ooh, don't lose my stitches. I need to get some little needle stoppers. I am knitting these socks on US size 0 9-inch circulars. And I am reordering the stripes. We've talked about this. And I think you can tell the difference. You can see the difference between the two colors. It's not super noticeable, but you can tell the difference. So yeah, I got the heel done, working my way through. I'm using, so I guess 3 weeks ago, Amber and I met at our local yarn store, Maddener Yarn, and we made a bunch of stitch markers. We had found this, Amber had found this video where you could take wire and wrap it around a pin and cut it to make these stitch markers like this, these like seed bead stitch markers. We both really enjoy using those, and it didn't work the way we wanted it to, but then the owner of the yarn store had jump rings, so she gave us some of the jump rings and we made her some stitch markers too. So I'm using one of those. So we will move our bat wings up. These are going to be pretty long socks, so we'll move this over, maybe. Come on. There we go. Okay. All right, there we go. So yeah, I am getting ready to actually start the reordered color sequence. So I will be, I am getting ready to start a blue stripe. I've been kind of in a book funk since I've been sick too, and I'm thinking about doing a re-listen for those books. Just because sometimes when I'm in a book funk like that, those are kind of my go-to. So it's probably what we'll do. I don't know. Just been in a funk since we all got better, which is okay. You're allowed to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to my Ahsoka shawl. This is by Lesley Ann Robinson, who is Knit Graffiti. You guys have seen this multiple times. I finished the brioche section on here. So I was where this little dinosaur marker was. Markers are by Twin Mountain Handcrafts. So we're going to move that up. And then I got, I think, like a repeat and a half done on the second one. Yeah, maybe like 2 repeats on the second brioche section. I did, like I said, I did knit like 2 or 3 rows on this when I watched Star Wars the other day. So it did get a little bit of love. I knew this was going to be a long-term project. I'm on section 5 of each side, and there's 10 sections per wing, as I'll call them, and then you knit the top and the bottom. So, you know, I'm about a third of the way done. I just love it. It's so squishy and it's soft. And she came out with a new shawl that's also Star Wars themed, and my friend Amber is sample knitting it, and And now I really need to learn brioche. And well, I'm doing brioche, but like I have like 5 brioche patterns, most of them by her, that I want to learn how to do. So yes, we're getting there. And this is living in my R2D2 bag that I made. All right, I have one more whip to talk about. This is a sample knit. This is a sample for Fangirl Fibers. First of all, look at this bag. She gave me this bag. Isn't it cool? All right, so this is the Jungle Doodle by Patterns by Jamie Lomax, Pacific Knit Co. I have not gotten very far, you guys. Again, life. But let's go over here. I think you can see it here. I have a chart and a half done. Got these little snakes. Aren't they cute? And then I'm working on some leaves. I really need to be booking it on this. I have just not had stitch markers. The mental capacity to do it, quite honestly. I love color work. You guys know that. I love doing these samples. They're so much fun. And these patterns have given me a chance to work on my color work and really improve my color work in a way that I wouldn't have been able to if I hadn't been doing these samples. But I have to really focus on these. It's a lot of counting, especially if I'm doing more than 2 colors at a time. It takes a lot of thought and effort on my part. And I've just not had the brain space to do them since we all got better. I spent a lot of nights not sleeping, as you can imagine. And between the 2 of my kids being ill and myself being ill. And not that Emily is being pushy. She's not at all. But I really want to get this done. So, sorry, I was trying to find a stitch marker. I am putting a tentative goal for myself to have this done when I talk to you guys next. I have that capability. I just need to get back in a good brain space to be able to do this because I want to get this to Emily so she can have it. And it's they're neat charts. There's some cool charts in here. There's a toucan, there's a flamingo. There's a really cool chameleon I want to do, and then there's the jungle boats. She wants that one in the very middle. So I mean, there's some neat stuff in here. So I am planning on doing my 1 row of Gimli, and then I was trying to do a chart a day, but some of these charts are really big, so I think I'm going to try to stick to between 5 and 10 rows a day instead of that. I have been joining in to Andy the Knitress. She does a Zoom call on Sunday afternoons, and I've been getting on there, and she does a really cool thing where she does light bulb stitch markers every day. No matter how many rows she puts on there, she does light bulb stitch markers, so she can say how many days of knitting this project actually took her. So like she finished a top recently that was absolutely gorgeous, and she's like, I started it on my birthday last year. Her birthday's coming up soon. And she's like, it didn't take me a year to knit this. It took me 20 something days to knit this, but she had put it away and then picked it back up later. And I love that idea. So I think I'm going to try that with this and put some light bulb stitch markers in there and use that as a way to track my progress. Instead of trying to do like a chart a day or whatever. Because some days I do have the brain space to do 20 rows, or I have the physical time. Especially if I'm doing 3 color work, I don't always have the time to sit down, have 1 ball here, 1 ball here, 1 ball here. I'm knitting continental, I'm knitting English. I don't always have that amount of actual time to sit down and do that, especially with William here or with Grace here. That's not something I can just sit down and do. So it will be done. It will be done because I want to get it back to Emily. Plus I have plans, guys. I have plans. I have things I need to be making. And I have a why I need to be making some of those things, and I will get to that in Life and Junk in just a few minutes. That's about it though for the yarny content. I am going to talk about a couple of books and then, like I said, Life and Junk. So if you're just here for the yarn, I will see you guys in 2 weeks, and thanks for watching. All right. So I have been on this kick with this urban fantasy series, the Other series by Heather G. Harris. We've talked about this before. And Amber and I were reading it kind of together. Not really, but sort of. And she messaged me. She was reading book 6 and she's like, I'm confused. And I'm like, okay. And apparently something happened in another series that we didn't realize we needed to read first. So I have read the first 3 books now in the Other Wolf series by Heather G. Harris. I've read, she has a prequel that's not on this list. I read Protection of the Pack and Guardian of the Pack. I've read both of those, plus the prequel, which I'll pop up here since I talked to you guys last. So we have a couple more of those to read. I think I have one more to catch up with where I need to be in the Other series so I can finish the Other Realm series. There's only 2 books left in that. Yeah, 6 and 7. So hopefully I will have those 3 books read. You know what? I'm not even going to put that on myself. I'll just get where I get. And I'm reading these because I enjoy them, not because I have to have them finished by some type of deadline. When I was sick, to be quite honest, I re-listened to From Blood and Ash. The first 2 books in that series I absolutely love. I have never finished the 3rd book. I always get to about 3/4 of the way done, and it's kind of, they get to like a happy for now type of situation, and I kind of stop there because I know there's a big cliffhanger at the end. And yes, I know the next book is out, but I have just not gotten to a place where I'm ready for that series to be over, so I haven't finished it yet. I'm learning about myself that long series are difficult for me. I have a friend who has been encouraging me to read the Zodiac series. You guys know I've tried the Zodiac Academy series before, and I really want to read them. I want to like them. They're a neat idea. I love the idea behind them, and I love the characters in the first couple of books that I've read. But I just have to be ready for those. So I'm thinking maybe that'll be a summertime deal, especially now that the final book is out, because I'll be able to actually finish them. So those long series where they're 9 books or 7 books, that's a big commitment, you know. Sometimes I need just the standalones. So I did listen to that, and then I reread a book, Tie Me Not. I've talked about this book before. It's by an author. Her name, well, the pen name she goes by for this series is Allie Brahms. I've read a couple of her other pen names. I really enjoy the book. It is a paranormal romance that has to do with like Chinese culture. And so it's a good book, and I enjoyed it. So I read it again while I was sick because I was in bed for 2 days. I guess we'll just go to Life and Junk. William ended up sick first. And he is not to that point where he can kind of let us know if he's going to be sick before he is. And so I spent 3 days in like hyper awareness mode, listening to every sound, every cough, every sneeze. If you're a mama, you know. Honestly, if you're a dog parent, you know. If you're a parent, period, you know. And so that happened. And then I was sick. And I mean, when I say I was sick, I was down for the count ill. It takes a lot for me to not get out of bed in the morning. I got up, got the kids to school, and crawled back in bed. And that is not something that I do. I'm not one of those people that just goes back to bed. If I'm up, I'm up. So that happened. I started getting better, and then Jade got sick. So and it lasted about 5 days for each of us. So we were sick for about 12 days. And thankfully, like I said, Jade is all better. It was not her appendix, thank God. And, you know, we got her checked out like she needed to be. And now we're all on the up and up. Thankfully, Richard never got ill. I don't know how, because William was all over him when he didn't feel good. But thankfully Richard has never gotten sick, and we actually postponed a visit with Olivia because we didn't want Olivia to get sick either. Plus, it's no fun to come over here when Mom and the two littles are all quarantined. So we told her we'd see her this weekend. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm actually gonna finish up here in a few minutes, and I'm headed to go see Amber at Mad Knitters again. Go hang out with my fiber bestie, and she has started spinning, and it's been cracking me up. So she's trying to get me to give it a try, and I told her I would, just to try it, but I have never had interest in spinning at all. I don't typically enjoy hand spun yarn. I just don't. A lot of times I think it's because I prefer thinner yarn. DK weight is about the heaviest yarn that I will get to, and I know it will take me a while to get to a DK weight yarn, and quite honestly, I'm not going to have time for my hobbies as it is come the fall. So why pick up another hobby? You know? And the reason I won't have any time come the fall is because I got my job. So I will be a para at Williams School in the fall. I don't know what classroom I will be in yet, but I will be doing that. So my crafting time will go down significantly starting in August, which is okay. I'll still have the evenings and stuff. But I was really excited to hear that I got accepted for that position. So yeah, that's about all that we have been doing. I have been catching up on laundry and cleaning and wiping down light switches, doorknobs, cabinets, anything I can think of that people have touched so that we will not get sick again. Because yeah, nobody's getting sick again. Throughout everybody's toothbrush, I did it all. So yeah, but that's about all we've been doing. So I will be back in 2 weeks to see you guys again. Hopefully I've got some pretty significant progress on the few projects that I have. I have swatched for a sweater for Richard, but I haven't started it yet. I'm not allowing myself to start that until I get the sample knit done. So once it's out, I will get his hoodie started. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I hope that you all are healthy, happy, and safe. And I'll see you later. Bye.